Hi everyone, welcome to For Teachers. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about the little tips and tricks that have given me a really good, healthy balance as a teacher. And when I say healthy, I do mean physical health, my diet and exercise, but at the same time it's about more than just that. I'm all about promoting a healthy lifestyle. I'm someone that wants treats every single day, and also as a school teacher you are very busy, so you might find it even more tricky to maintain a work-life balance and also keep yourself feeling healthy. I've written my tips in here, so I'm going to be reading them now and talking you through each step. Okay, so for tip number 1, I would say if it is your first year of teaching, just be aware that it is tricky, it is hard to find a balance. You might find for a couple of months you just have to do whatever feels right, whatever feels natural, whatever you grab at home to eat, just go for it. It doesn't really matter. I think for my first couple of months of teaching, I literally ate a cheese sandwich at lunch every day as fast as I could, and when I got home I just had the easiest meal I could possibly throw together. Take some time, have a nap in the evening if you need to. Just try to remember that the rules don't apply when you start teaching. There's so many new things you've got to get your head around. Don't worry about taking a step back. You will be able to catch yourself back up shortly, I promise. Find out what is available in your school. Does your school offer a free lunch for teachers or a small payment? Some schools have salad bars, some schools have jacket potato stands. Some schools will encourage you to eat with the children in return for a free school lunch. Find out what is available in your school. If there is something that is a healthy option, it might be worth for a couple of weeks trialling that. A lot of schools, especially in the UK, will now offer free fruit at break time for the children. Are you able to have some of that yourself as well? Encouraging your class to bring a healthy snack will definitely encourage you to bring something healthy in as well. Meal prep, but also don't worry if you can't meal prep. So if you are like me and you like to batch cook things, I don't do it all the time at the moment, but in my second year of teaching I was much better at this. I would prepare a chili or a stir fry, box it up and take it into work each day. But if you are finding that tricky as well, there is no harm in going to the supermarket, grabbing a quick salad and bringing that in. Remember, this is your first year of teaching. Your brain is all over the place anyway, and if somebody else can help you out with that prep, give yourself a bit of a break. I try to watch lots of meal prep videos online. I find it gives me some really good ideas, and you can ask the staff in your school if they've got any suggestions for that kind of thing as well. Does your school have a sporting event that you can join in with? I'm aware it's really popular in schools at the moment to do a challenge where at break time the children run laps around the school. We used to do this in my old school and I used to join in. I just used to run with the children, I used to do stretches and exercise with the children, and it meant that the lesson that I taught after this I always had a little bit more energy for, just a tiny bit of endorphins. In the school I'm at right now we do lots of sponsored sporting events. For example, recently we did a sponsored run, we did several laps around a sports pitch, and this is the second year in a row that I've just joined in with the children. I asked really nicely if another teacher could keep an eye on my class's results. She was ticking them off and I just joined them. I just ran with them. It was such a lovely experience and it really helped me to bond with the children. So find out if there's a sporting event in your school that you can join in with. I know sports day is tricky for teachers because you've probably got events you need to organise, but if you're able to join in with something like that, go for it. Bring in a snack survival box. As a teacher, you are going to be so hungry all the time, and if you ever grab 5 minutes free to yourself, you probably want to reach for something, and it's really hard to make sure that the things you reach for are healthy. So bring in a great big bag. You can hide it high up so the children can't get it. Fill it with all kinds of little healthy bits and bobs that you can take. Some chocolate too, because there will be days where you desperately need chocolate. In my old school I used to hide a box of chocolates really high up on the top of a shelf, and it really helped me because I knew they were there. If I needed them I could ask someone to help me reach them and I could have them, so I was never deprived of having a sweet treat. But because there was a bit more effort involved in reaching for it, I knew it was there as a bit of an emergency. But I am someone who eats chocolate every day, so maybe I'm not the best role model for that. There always seems to be cakes in the staff room. Teachers, when they join the school, when they leave the school, when it's a birthday, when it's a special event, when a parent donates something nice. So if you're like me and you find it really difficult to say no to the meeting biscuits or the staff room treats that seem to pop up all the time, I can't say no, I always say yes. So when I go to a meeting and there's a plate of biscuits out there, I remind myself that they are just because biscuits and I'm about to eat one just because I'm at a meeting. And I try and use that mentality to make me think, well, I don't really want them, they're just there, so I'm about to have one. We always size it up. We say, is it WTC, which stands for worth the calories? If it's a really good chocolate cake and somebody's brought in a homemade cake, I am going to have a slice of it every time. But I've always sized it up. I've thought, is it something I really want? Is it something I really like? And can it be then my treat for the day? But at the same time, if someone was to bring in a big tray of biscuits and that's not something I'm really into, I'm going to size it up. I'm going to say, is it WTC? Will I really truly enjoy it so much? And if not, I'll probably just take a pass on that one and wait for the next really good treat to come along. There are a lot of cakes in the staff room. When you're getting to know a new group of teachers, it's really important that you build relationships with them. You get to know the people you're working with. It's really nice to be part of the school community. So is there a club that you can go to with some of those teachers that's sporting related? I used to do lots of aerial fitness with two of the girls that I worked with in my old school. It was a really nice way to spend time with teachers that didn't feel like we were just sat in the staff room at the end of the day having a chat. Like we were taking ourselves away from the school and we were putting ourselves somewhere else. It was a really bonding experience. It was really, really nice to look forward to that on a Thursday, because it's really, really hard to do aerial fitness and think about marking at the same time. In my old school, for a short while, we did a staff fitness, and it was after school, maybe on a Wednesday, and the teachers would all go into the hall and we would do dodgeball, team games, and just let out some of that sort of frustration from the week. Are we exhausted? Do we need a hit of endorphins? And that used to be a really nice time that we would spend together. It was really funny, it was competitive. If there isn't something like that in your school, could you start it? Could you introduce some kind of Zumba dance class? My old school used to do a rounders game, and it was teachers versus parents, and it definitely brought the community closer together, and at the same time I was being healthy. I was running around and doing some fitness. If you're given the option of creating a club for students, if you choose a multi-sports club, maybe you can join in with the children a bit, you can run around with them, and if you do that every week, then that could be your half an hour of exercise for that particular day. I used to run a multi-sports club in my old school, and I used to have a run around with them, play some of the games, and that felt like my evening's exercise for that particular day. Ryan and I used to go into people's classrooms at the start of the day. We used to just dance around the room, put some Go Noodle on, have a relax, do some yoga. I know it sounds really silly, and it is silly, especially when you're so busy and you think, I've got to do that planning, I've got to do some marking and assessment this evening. But if you are able to just put something on and have a dance around, and it really will make you feel so much better just to put that on, even if it takes 5 minutes. My next tip is something that I think is very, very important. I would say do not compare yourself to anyone else. I have worked with people in the past who are so organized. They bring in like an incredible salad that they've obviously spent hours making, they've marinated the chicken, they've cooked the chickpeas through, they've made something really incredible every single day. And I used to stare at these lunches and be like, how have you managed this? How have you managed to mark 60 books and assess children and then go home and create a banquet like this? And the sooner I stopped imagining myself in that scenario and I realized that I wanted to spend my free time in a different way to them, the sooner I found a kind of happiness with my own lunches. If you're anything like me, I'm quite healthy. I do eat well, I do exercise, but it's not the be all and end all for me. I've got lots of other hobbies and passions that I like to pursue. So for me, going home at the end of the day and spending the entire evening cooking a meal is not the best use of my time. I might do some cooking on a Sunday and take it in, find a balance that works really well for you. It doesn't matter if it works for them. And actually that brings me really nicely onto my final piece of advice, which is talk to the teachers in your school. If there is someone who is an amazing cook and you want to learn some new skills, maybe you could do some cooking together, or maybe you could batch cook 3 meals and do a swap. I'm talking to the teachers in my school at the moment about having a go at this. So 3 of us have decided we're all going to cook 3 meals, and then on a Monday we will swap one over, Tuesday swap one over, Wednesday swap one over. Why not? If there are other teachers in your school that are willing to do something like this, it might be a really nice idea to have a go. And secret bonus tip, if there are parents in your school that are amazing cooks, there is no harm in asking them if they might want to share some of their recipes with you. You never know, during an international day or an international week, they might be willing to bring in some of their food and recipes to share with you so that you can learn some of their tips as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it's given you some ideas on ways that you can manage your work-life balance and your health while you're working in a school. If you have any tips for teachers that I haven't covered, please comment them down below. How do you manage your health while you're working as a teacher? And I will speak to you again soon. Goodbye!